ya, la, 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 ya, ya, la, 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 la. Try that with us. Ya, la, 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 la. That's it. Ya, la, 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 ya, 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 la, la, ya, ya. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. I haven't seen you in a while, stranger.
Oh, Rabbi, it's so great to have you.
I
I did have fun, I must admit. You know, when the rabbi's away,
I know.
the Cantor does speak a lot, doesn't she?
She has a good time when I'm not here. I'm so happy to see you. I feel like I'm looking at a bunch of well-watered plants after the summer. You know, it's just like, oh, and some of you, including my friend Judah, are maybe a foot taller. I don't know. That's what happens. You know, if you're young enough to grow that tall. You guys too, Holden Brinkley. And some of us have just gotten more beautiful and wiser, like my friend Frida Margulies, who's having a special birthday. And can I just say, you're like the best card writer there is, maybe aside from my mother-in-law, but like really, yes, we love you.
Mazel tov.
So much mazel. And we are also super happy to see the people located in the front row over here, the Janus family. I want to tell you, most of you are not going to be here tomorrow morning, but I'll tell you the very special story of a young man, Jackson, who's going to come up here with his family and light candles in a moment, who just himself is this blossoming flower in this moment. He comes to his bar mitzvah tomorrow. And I just have so much wicked, wicked respect for you, because you are here setting a model for your awesome brother and sister and being a dugma, a model to all of us, like how to be like a really proud, awesome Jew in the world. And your parents, Jeff and Emily, thank you for your partnership and for being here tonight. I can't wait to meet the whole mishpacha tomorrow. But will you come up as a family right now? You can leave your books right there. I'm going to light this yahrzeit candle as you come up, and then you're going to bring the happy, and you're going to light the bigger candles. We are just praying again for a world that needs to know more peace than war. We mourn any loss of life that is happening in Israel and throughout the area. And just, you know, we can never stop hoping. It's about tikva. It has to continue. We just got to feed it with love and energy so that we can quell some of the violence and hatred that's out there. And then we got to turn the page and we got to think, what did the Jewish people bring? More than anything, more than bagels and lox to the world. More than Seinfeld, more than Larry David even. We bring this beautiful family and more like them to a moment of utter joy and pride. Are you going to be the candle lighter? Or are we leaving that to mom or dad? I think you do too. Yes, my friend, come on over here. And, you know, in this moment also, you may have come in tonight holding a lot. Maybe it's a heavy Shabbat for you. Maybe you're remembering someone special. This is our longest yahrzeit list of the year. So I want you to be conscious of like those souls that might be joining us. Maybe they've departed this earth a long time ago. You can light, my friend. Always just keep on going. The rabbi will keep talking. But, you know, we're in a moment where, you know, we come to lighting these candles and we at once stand firm in this present moment. Well done. You got it.
We sing the blessing together.
And then we'll wave our arms together and we'll welcome in the spirit of Shabbat with the Janus family.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
As we behold these lights of Shabbat, wishing each other Shabbat Shalom and Mazel Tov. You guys can go have a seat. I'm so excited for you, for everything happening tomorrow and this weekend. And will you turn to each other, strangers, friends, family, mishpacha, whoever you are, just turn to each other, say Shabbat Shalom. How was your summer?
Friends, you should all have a prayer book, a siddur. I know we could sit here schmoozing. That's what the oneg is for, right? We should all have a prayer book, a siddur, as we do every Shabbat. We do some preliminary prayers, right, to really warm us up and really settle us, right? This week, woo, we're glad it's over. We're here on Shabbat. Let's all turn to page 12 as we sing together joyously. There's a lot of joy to celebrate tonight. Page 12, Lechu neranena. Lechu neranena l'Adonai Naria litzur yishenu nekad mafanav betoda bizvirot naria lo. Page 13. Shira l'Adonai, shir chadash, shira l'Adonai, kol haaretz, shira l'Adonai,
Bachu Shema.
oh, basru miyom leyom yeshuato, sapru v'goyim kevodo bechol ha'amim nifleotav, ki gadol Adonai umulam me'od norahu al kol Elohim ayayay ki kol Elohei ha'amim elilim v'Adonai shamayim asa od behadar lefanav oz betiferet b'mikdasho yalai lalai lai yalai 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 lai lalai yai lalai yai lai
Before we turn in a moment to page 20 with Lecha Dodi, maybe just for the first time this week, take a deep breath. For the first time this week, close your eyes in public. You're not driving, I promise you. You're okay. And if you can give yourself permission for this vulnerable moment, for a poem that comes from a poet that I've come to love, who somehow found my inbox and floods me with poetry every week, and I just love it. His name is Rich Orloff. You can listen with your eyes open or closed to listen to Confession of a Reluctant Human. Sometimes I'm reluctant to admit I'm part of the human race. I mean, just look at these people with their flaws and wounds and neuroses. I've taken so much solace in thinking I'm not like those people, that I've got things under control, that I've mastered the art of living. How embarrassed I am to admit, even to myself, that I also struggle with flaws and wounds and neuroses. Inside of me is an unspoken mantra: I am not enough, they are not enough, life is not enough. As I slowly dismantle my protective wall, brick by brick by brick, sometimes I put a few bricks back when no one is looking. I pray for the courage to admit how much I am scared to admit. Perhaps you and I can bond over this as we notice how many bricks we have in common. Turn with us, please, to Lecha Dodi, page 20.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor וזכור ודיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי דודי, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה, בראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תקילה. לך דודי דודי, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
Verse 5.
התעוררי, התעוררי, כי בעורף קומי אורי, 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 שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי דודי, לך דודי לקראת כלה.
And we face the back of the shul. And we welcome Shabbat, verse 9. Please rise.
פני שבת נקבלה, בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. You may be seated.
We're turning to page
26.
26.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברי חירותי והמליך מלכותי, בחייכם וביומכם ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה, בעגלה, ובזמן קריב אמרו אמן. יהי שמרה במבורך לעולם עולם מעלמיה, יתברך יתברך וישתבח, ויתבר ויתרומם וינשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי לקודשה בריחו לעילם מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דם אירן בעלמה,
On page 28, we come to Baruch Hu, readying ourselves for this moment where we confront or we make ourselves accessible to the divine, whatever that means to you. We're all trying to define God in our own lives, or at least that's our challenge as Am Yisrael. We are the God wrestlers after all. So in this moment, before we stand, can we sort of identify even one point of gratitude, even one point of faith? We're talking about that tomorrow morning, aren't we, Jackson? Yes. So a little bit of that to steel ourselves for this moment where we encounter something divine, something beyond and very much part of ourselves, the Holy One of blessing. Please rise. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. La 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 ya 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 ya. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Ya 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 ya. Have a seat, everyone. Let's turn right now to an English reading on page 29. And let's read at the top of the page together. There is one who sings the song of his own life, finding everything within himself. There is one who leaves the circle of herself and sings the song of her people. There is one whose voice rings with the song of humanity, hoping for the highest perfection. And there is one who rises even higher, uniting with all creatures, with all worlds, filling the universe with song. Nevarech, let us bless. And we bless the fact that we have had another day. How'd that happen? We're so lucky. Page 30 for Ma'ariv Aravim.
ומעביר יום ומביא לילה ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה אדוני צבאות שמו אל חי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד ברוך אתה אדוני המעריב ערבים.
On page 32, a blessing, giving todah, an opportunity to thank God for the fact that we can continuously learn through this blessed thing we call Torah, full of love. Let's read together. Everlasting love you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai, our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel.
Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Page 34. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Page 36. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha ubechol nafshecha ubechol meodecha ve'hayu hadarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavcha hayom al levavecha ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. We say Yasher Koach to Jackson. I will just add, I know the rabbi said she's wicked respectful of you, right, and is in awe of you, and I just want to say this is one of the best mensches you'll ever meet, really, and we're just so excited for you and your family. That's a little warm-up. Okay, don't get too comfortable. We're going to call you back up soon.
Shkoach. Page 39, a little prelude to Micha Mocha. At the top of page 39. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Page 40. Micha Mocha Ba'elim Adonai Micha Mocha Nedar B'Kodesh Nora Tehilot מלכותך ראו בניך בוקיים לפני משה ומרים זה לי ענו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. Page 42, Hashkivenu. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'havidenu shomrei
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, v'hamidenu Shomreinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, v'hamidenu Shomreinu lechaim. Page 44. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berit olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael, oti le'olam, oti le'olam, oti le'olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai, asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berit olam.
Well, I was really inspired this week because I make time for television no matter how busy I am, it turns out. And if you haven't watched it, you gotta watch And So It Goes, the Billy Joel documentary. And it will take you through a little, it'll be a little discography for those of you who know the man's incredibly vast array of music. He's so great. And he's such a Jew. He's such a Jew. He's so proud of being, he's like a very adamant Jew in this world today, which is a great thing. And he's old. I mean, I am too, but we all are, right? We're all getting older. But I was appreciating, like, time has gone by. Anybody in the house tonight go like, where'd the time? Anyone, right? You're looking at your kids here. They're all grown up. We're older, and we're lucky. We're lucky to live when we do. And there are challenges that come with living long. And our tradition knew this very well when it said, in Leviticus Rabbah, it was a midrash, like a telling of tales on top of what we learned from the book of Leviticus. And the following is said, Amar Rabbi Akiva, the great rabbi said, Nimshalu Yisrael le'of. Israel, the Jewish people, is likened to a bird. Ma ha'of hazeh eino poreach belo knafayim. Just as a bird cannot fly without wings, kach Yisrael ein yicholim la'asot davar chutz miziknehem. Israel's likened to a bird. Just as a bird cannot fly without wings, so too Israel is unable to do anything. The Jewish people are unable to do anything without our elders. Not just Billy Joel people. But all of us, we come, and every time we do this, Adonai Sfatai Tiftach, I feel like I'm backing up before I go into the Amidah, and I think, thank you, ancestors. Thank you. I don't know you, but you're filling up the vast space of the universe with your memories. And even if we don't know half of the people, any of the people that maybe we're connected to in line, these are our great ancestors. And we happen to be connected to some zikanim, some revered elders right here in our own shul. And so special are these elders that they don't even think about themselves as elders. They're thinking, how do I take care of other people? I may be of the age, long beyond the age of mitzvot, my bar bat mitzvah, my b'nai mitzvah. But I'm concerned because in 2025, to be an elder today means a lot of challenges. As we know, we are witnessing a large and rapidly advancing population of older citizens and a crisis in accessing services. We know this. Most of us, survey after survey, the data shows, want to age in place. That's a term for don't make me leave my home. I'm happy here. I want to hang out with my friends in the same haunts I always have, with my friends and neighbors and family all around me. I want to go shopping in the same places I've always known. We know that people thrive better when they're living around each other. Think about a dorm, right? We're all maybe thrown into dorms in college. Now, this is a brilliant idea. There's a brilliant idea called the Villages, and it's a nationwide Jewish project. And the idea here is that people take care of people. I know, it's amazing, but it's true. People taking care of people, particularly connecting an elder, I'm gonna stop saying that word, an older person, but I feel like there's respect imbued in that, so maybe I'll keep using it. An elder with any person of any age who can stay with them to keep them connected. And I want to thank my good friend, Betty Jo Stemple, who brought this to me and has really paved the path for this incredible project to lift up here in Columbus. They're calling it Chai, as in 18, as in life, 614. Everybody say it, Chai 614, because you have to memorize this. Because if you say to me, Rabbi, I don't know what to do with all of my spare time. Rabbi, I don't know how to connect with somebody in a meaningful way. Rabbi, I actually need somebody to take me to the dentist and I don't know how to make that happen. Or Rabbi, do you know a good plumber? Or Rabbi, is there a way that I can keep on learning within my own community now that I'm retired and I'm happily so and I never want to work again, but I do want to stay connected to my friends and I want to expand my circle and I don't want to have to worry as much as I currently am because God knows the state of healthcare. God knows the state of anything in the world right now, right? We're living at a very precarious time. And knowing that, I am so glad for the people in this community like Betty Jo Stemple who have brought this in a very major way to us. She, along with Doris Sterling, Karen Heiser, Barbara Sanderow, I'm not sure if I said all these names right, and many others have stayed with this idea over several years. And I'm talking about it tonight because it is finally launching. We are finally figuring out how is it that we can do anything without our elders as we learned, right? The Torah teaches us we can't really think of doing anything without them. So this is a vital moment. How do we do this? Well, there's partnerships at work. The project is built on partnerships focused on the senior community, 5 local synagogues, including ours, Jewish Columbus, our federation, Wexner Heritage Village, the JCC, and the Central Ohio Office on Aging. Who helped with that is our very good friend, Dr. June Gutterman, who has a lot of history working in this community. She's the former head of Jewish Family Services. And she told me, after she told me that she's the new board chair for Chai 614, and I said, oh, I'm so surprised. Look at my face, I'm so surprised, June. Because June steps up. June does this. And poor Arlene is just going, oh boy, I'm not gonna see her very much, am I? No, you will. But Dr. June Gutterman said this to me yesterday. She goes, this community is finally ready for this. And readiness means that we're tying all these services together because we can't count on necessarily certain services to exist anymore, so we're going to build it internally is the whole idea. It takes a village to support our seniors. This captures the future of services which we know enables folks to live in their own homes, to have meaning, to increase their engagement and decrease something we know. We started for some reason talking about loneliness during the pandemic, but there's still an epidemic of loneliness across our country, you can say for all ages. And why should anybody, especially connected to Temple Israel and the Jewish community of Columbus, feel alone or feel lonely? We can't let that happen. It's so basic. So this seeks to lasso also the influx of seniors that are coming to Columbus because they might be moving here because they want greener pastures or because they have kids that are their older kids that are living here. They want to be near their grandkids. And what are seniors to do? Moving away from these relationships, these friendships, and long-standing connections. So the answer is we are going to be drawing a big circle around these folks through Chai 614. It doesn't take away from any other agency, what they're doing, JFS with the Friendly Visitor, or Wexner Heritage Village, or any of the shuls and what we're doing. It benefits the recipient and the giver. It takes care of get me to the dentist or I need a plumber. And it also seeks to educate. You know, we have a really successful program here at Temple Israel called Death Over Dinner, and it's exactly what it sounds like. We talk about death and dying, and we eat a lovely meal together, and we talk about Yiddishkeit and being Jewish and what it means to confront mortality. And it's a very beautiful thing. June Gutterman, as the board chair, can tell you something really interesting, which is she knows from providing for Shoah survivors, Holocaust survivors in our community, that still there are remarkably, and I get choked up when I think of how the numbers have decreased, but what we still have in our community is approximately 140 Holocaust survivors, 140. That means there are elders among us who have seen, of course, what we know the darkest moments in Jewish history, one of the darkest moments. And there's still 250,000, did I say that right? 250,000 across the country, Holocaust survivors. Why do we still have that many people? Because the Jewish community seeks to connect with them, and also there have been home-based services which are helping them to live longer, helping us to all live longer. So it's finally time to get this up and running. Thanks to Betty Jo Stempel, thanks to Dr. June Gutterman. Shout out to them and their legwork and being patient. Poor Betty Jo is like, come on, Rabbi, let's go already. And we're finally doing this. I want to leave you with one last piece of Torah, okay? Because I know you're all thinking, when do I get a piece of this? I need to help, or I need to be helped, and it's okay. And actually, this, I just want to end with one thing aside from what I'm going to quote. This is the example of how we all need to ask for help. We just do. I want to tell you, from my stance as a rabbi, the one thing that I see people of all ages missing out on is the ability to ask for help. And suddenly we get in a bind and we think we're totally alone and we're isolated from the world. And if you ask for help, I promise this community will help lift you up and help take care of you. Because guess what? None of us does it alone. This guy doesn't do it alone. God knows. So I want you to think about asking for help and finding people who need it and being a person who's going to be a giver to help with Chai 614. Mipnei seva takum v'hadarta pnei zaken v'yareta me'elohecha ani Adonai. It says in the book of Leviticus, you shall rise before the aged and show deference to the old, or my even more favorite translation is, you shall allow the elderly person's beauty to shine. We got to do that for each other. I want y'all to do that for me when I'm older. And so we need to really be taking care. And I hope that you will ask Dr. June about this, ask Betty Jo about this. Are there ways that people can get involved, you think? I think so. So thanks for listening to this. And as we go into our Amidah tonight, thank God for the beautiful Torah that we have, this teaching that says nobody's forgotten, everybody gets help that needs it. And so we stand in reverence of that beautiful teaching and of a community that is always helping. Turning to page 46.
Yasher koach. Friends, as we begin our tefillah, we've started singing a prelude. The words are, open my eyes to truth, open my hands to give freely, open my lips to good words, to pure words, open my heart to love. And it goes like this. Open my eyes to truth, open my hands to give freely, open my lips to good words, to pure words, open my heart to love. Try that with me. Open my eyes to truth, open my hands to give freely, open my lips to good words, to pure words, open my heart to love. Adonai sifatai tiftach, ufi yagi tehilatecha. Open my lips to good words, to pure words, open my heart to love.
Page 46.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Vezocher Chasdei Avot Ve'imahot, Umevi Gula Livnei Venehem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava. Melech Ozer Umoshia Umagen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah. Ata gibor leolam Adonai, mechayei hakol ata rav lehoshia, morid hatal. Mechakel chayim bechesed, mechayei hakol berachamim rabim, somech noflim verofer cholim, umatir asurim, umekayem emunato lishenei afar, michamocha ba'al gevurot umidam melach, melech memit umechaye umasmiach Yeshua v'ne'manat al hachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai mechaye hakol.
Page 52.
Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh u'kdoshim b'chol yom yahalalu chasela, Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh.
As you continue pages 54 to 63, just peruse those words, taking time for your own reflection. Be seated whenever you're complete. Let's turn to page 253. The only thing we ask for God, even on Shabbat, because it's God's day off and it's ours too, is for healing. Healing of body and soul and mind. We take comfort in the words of the Misha Berach, and when we pause in the middle of this beautiful Debbie Friedman, we're going to say the names aloud of people for whom you're wishing healing. You can add those names, lift up those names for anybody, including yourself, who may be in need of healing tonight.
Misha Berach Avotenu Kor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen.
Say those names. Yaakov Ziv ben Yocheved v'Chaim, Harav Michal Masha bat Chaim v'Simcha, Lev Heschel ben Batami v'Yaakov, Rav Yitzchak Yosef ben Shimon v'Nechama, Nechama Tzura bat Gittel. We're thinking of Peggy Summer Baker and Max Beeler, Isaac Cavallero and Sheila Cavallero, Ronald Cohen, Ann Christie, Carol Crowfoot, Rachel Dowell. We're praying for Larry Footer and Inez Funderburg, Marilyn Gill, Linda Gordon, Ethan Kadish, for Elaine Kravitz Shepard, Jerry Cruz, Clark Patton, Andrew Rosenbaum, Mitzi Seaman, Jerry Savransky, Harriet Sobolewski, Susan Steinman, Wendy Stone, Judy Tuckerman, and Ann Meerman Tizer.
Misha Berach Imotenu Kor HaBracha Leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Amen ve'amen. Page 258, we make a blessing for this country. As we say together, we remind ourselves of what we want for all of us. In the middle of the page, thus says Adonai, this is what I desire, to unlock the fetters of wickedness and untie the cords of lawlessness, to let the oppressed go free, to break off every yoke. Share your bread with the hungry and take the wretched poor into your home. When you see the naked, give clothing, and do not ignore your own kin. If you banish the yoke from your midst, the menacing hand, the evil speech, if you offer compassion to the hungry and satisfy the famished creature, then your light shall shine in darkness.
And across the page, let's read at the bottom together a prayer for the state of Israel. O Heavenly One, protector and redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen. And we sing together, Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Tzor Yisrael veGoalo. Avinu,
בשמיים, צור ישראל וגואלו.
If we ever feel helpless saying both of those prayers, the next prayer says, don't worry, it's just on us to make sure that something positive, something good, something peaceful happens. Page 282, please stand for Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Page 287.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
You may be seated. And now we bring our attention to all those in our lives, as I say every Shabbat, who may not be physically present on this earth anymore, but remain very much alive in our hearts and our cherished memories. And I'll invite you to turn to page 291, as I want to read this beautiful passage together. 291 at the bottom, Yesh kochavim she'orim magia artsa. Let's read together at the bottom in English. There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light, long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. We've lost many beautiful people in our congregation, and I'd like to just acknowledge the recent passing I just found out this morning of my dear, wonderful aunt, Karen Drury, Zichrona Livracha, who lived in Israel with her family, and she was a pillar of strength and beauty and my inspiration, one of the reasons I'm standing here today. So we acknowledge my Doda, we say, Karen Drury. And friends, if you are here in the period of the first 7 days of losing a loved one, in the period of Shiva, I'll ask you to rise so we can support you and recognize you as a mourner. In the period of Shloshim, we're remembering our beloveds Annette Harris, Michael Luck, and Jerry Moroff. If there's anyone here in the first 30 days of losing someone, I'll ask you to rise. And if you're here in the first Shana, the first year of losing a loved one, please rise and say their name aloud. Thank you. And as the rabbi said, this Shabbat is the yahrzeit, the anniversary of many loved ones' deaths. So when you hear their name, please rise, and in a moment we'll all rise to be together to support you. We are remembering Betty Agranoff, Margaret S. Albert, Saul Barish, Louis Brandt, Herbert M. Califf, Lily Cohen, Sheila Cohen, Cheryl Cooper, Marcia Cooper, Cecile Friedman, Hirsch Friedman, Minnie Fritz, Abner Fritz, Sarah Gertner, Marjorie S. Goodman, Estelle Guri, Oscar Groner, Sam Grossman, Harvey Gervitz, Carolyn Jaros Hirsch, Soraya Hevia, Alan Jackier, Pauline Gitman Khan, Raymond Khan, Jerome Catcher, Benjamin Catcher, Sandra Katz, Morris Cruz, Louis Levy, George Logden, Esther Omansky, Anita Orlov, Esther Plotnick, Alfred H. Raymond, Eleanor Joseph Reiser, Robert Rosenblum, Susan Rubin. We're remembering Joseph Sanders, Fanny Schulte, Robert N. Szymanski, Richard T. Shapiro, Rose Schinbach, Albert Skolnick, Jean Levinson Solomon, Della Solomon, Bertha Steinman, Sarah D. Stern, Malvina Stern, Jean Rita Stone, Barry Turner, Sharon Ray Varon, Bruce Venrick, Samuel Verona, Sam Weiner. I apologize if I mispronounced anyone's name. Are there any other names to be included? I'll invite you to rise.
Kitty Konigsack. We just lost our Kitty Konigsack
Yes.
this past week.
And in Shiva, we are still in the period of Shiva, Kitty Konigsack. Thank you, Rabbi. Friends, I'll ask you all to rise now as one community together. If it is your custom, we'll recite the Mourner's Kaddish, page 294. Yitgadal ve'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra chirutei ve'amlich malchutei, b'chaye echon uv'yom echon uv'chaye d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agalah uv'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lalmei omaya. Yitbarach ve'yishtabach ve'yitpa'ar ve'yitromam ve'yitnaseh V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudsha brichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tush bechata v'nechamata da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim alenu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'imromav hu ya'aseh shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, amen. You may be seated.
So many people to thank for making tonight possible. Thanks, Jackson. You did your part, my friend, and we will look forward to celebrating more tomorrow morning with your whole family. I want to thank our ushers, Dave Risen and David Stone. Thank you. Our staff, Kylan and Ruth and Zach, and on tech, Leah Jarabji. On security, please thank Aaron and Alvin. And our CSSR community security services. That means the eyes and ears within the congregation, highly trained individuals. I want to thank my buddy Lee Nathan in the back of the room for helping us organize, and Gordon Hecker and Barbie. Is Barbie here? Maybe not. Shout out to Barbie anyway, wherever she is. So we are very, very blessed. And this coming up, we have a very special person, a dear new friend of mine, and Nancy. Say hi, Nancy. Nancy and I went to Nepal, and our friend in Kathmandu is a guy named KP Kafle. He is revered throughout the land, and he is also a tzaddik. He's Catholic, formerly Hindu, but now he's sort of Jewish because of us, because we've like sprinkled our Judaism all over, right? KP is coming to the States, and he's going to be here on Sunday, August 24th from 4 to 6. And he's going to be, I want you to come and hear him because he's so unbelievable. This man's story, you have to hear it. You will be inspired. He was kind of saved by a piece of apple pie, is the way that I tell the story, because his boss said, give those tourists the piece of 3-day-old apple pie, and he came up to them and he said, it's actually not fresh. And they hired him, and the kind of rest is history. He's a real mensch. He's a real mensch, and he has something called Seeds Nepal, which provides clean drinking water and education and all kinds of other vital things. It's a nonprofit. I want you to hear about it. I want you to meet KP. Nancy and I will tell you all about him, but he's so much better in person, and he's about yay high, and he's a powerhouse of a person. So please come Sunday, the 24th, 4 to 6, right here. There will be snacks. Also, look in your mailbox, is your actual mailbox at home, because you're going to be seeing our high holiday mailing, and that means you have to come to shul, and that means we will be looking for you, but it gives you registration information and parking information, and with the fence that you see that is new is our added security. Thank you for all the people who contributed to that effort in our Door Ba campaign. We want to make sure that everything is crystal clear so that you understand everything we're going to do that's very special for the high holidays, and make sure you're in here. But now, Cantor.
And that's only 6 weeks away, not that I'm counting or anything, of the high holidays. Also, friends, please mark your calendars for a very special Shabbat, which is going to happen on Friday, August 29th. We're going to have some special baby namings. I see the grandparents in here somewhere. But we're also having an incredible program. Rabbi spoke tonight about all the survivors that we have in our local community. Once again, we are collaborating with this incredible organization called A Tribe for Jazz, who is bringing in what's called the Millie Baran Project. Millie Baran is a Holocaust survivor, and this incredible musician based in Brooklyn, works with Israeli musicians and other Jewish musicians, wrote original music based on her survival story. It's called Amplify Voices, and we'll be doing a truncated Shabbat service. Of course, we're going to do our Shabbat prayers, and then A Tribe for Jazz, Amplify Voices will be here to share her story and the music. And I spoke to Jewish Family Services today, and they're hoping to bring as many survivors who can possibly come. So it's going to be very powerful, especially in this moment and time we're living in. Don't miss it. Friday, August 29th. And Jackson, I promised we'd get you back up here. I think the rabbi has a special gift that you're going to be able to use right now, my friend.
That's right. We're even going to make shachianu over it very quickly. Look how pretty. There's even a matching little saucer that goes underneath it. But we want you to drink from this cup. May it always be full. May it always be full of sweetness. And we say, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehachianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh.
Amen.
Use this in good health, and will you lead us in
Page 5 for Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam.
Borei Peri Hagav.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaro l'maaseh b'reshit ki hu yom techila l'mikra'e kodesh zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim. Kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim ve'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon inchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Amen. L'chaim.
L'chaim.
Yasher koach. Love the faces.
It's not the greatest. We're waiting all that time. There's better. So friends, we're going to make motzi. Maybe
You can stay right here,
too,
Jackson.
Do you want to come up and
Oh,
let's
Holden
make
and
motzi?
Brinkley.
Holden and Brinkley?
We were going to save you for tomorrow, but get up here. Now you get to share the challah.
That candle wax. Can you take that off from me? Thank you very much. I know it just dripped from there. Come on over. All right, friends.
Say the blessing all together.
One of you can remove the cover, Brinkley. Yes.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. And we close with the singing of Shalom Alechem, page 323. Shalom Alechem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leShalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni leShalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem leShalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shabbat Shalom.